I actually was born and raised in a small town called Locust Grove, Georgia, with two very loving parents who taught us the very importance of hard work and giving back to the community. Education was very important to them because my father, although he was extremely intelligent, only had a 6th grade education. But he understood in order to be able to achieve the things you wanted to in life, you have to have an education, and you had to always be understanding of giving back, of your time, your talents, and your treasures. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be money, but just giving of yourself. So I grew up just seeing my father give back like that. As I started getting older and wanted to be more involved when I got into, I think it was either middle school or junior high school, never been athletic. So I think, trying to find something extracurricular to do, living in, growing up in the country, I end up, getting very involved in 4-H. And one of the H's in 4-H is helping others. I grew up doing all kind of activities and projects, and in 4-H, anytime you did a project, there always had to be a community service component to that. I've always been a person that loved numbers, and everybody was kind of thrown back that accounting ended up being my major. I was so community oriented, they just always thought that was going to be, the realm that I was in. But as far as a profession is concerned, I've always been very analytical, and I always loved numbers. So being an accountant was something that I always knew that I was going to do. Going to college, that was a no-brainer for me. I always knew that was where I was going to do. I think once I got to campus, because I had at that point got so ingrained in doing community service, I was looking for that. I was introduced to Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Delta Sigma Theta sorority is a sorority that is based off of sisterhood and service. I found my niche. I found my gatherings, per se, with an organization that I could join, that I could get right back into doing things in the community. I was representing Delta Sigma Theta sorority. They had asked me to run, and at first I was a little bit hesitant to run, but I was president of the organization at the time, and they asked me what I considered running, and I did. When I did make the court, me standing out on that field with the person that was responsible for me making it to college, and him looking at me when they announced my name, and that smile on my face, I could relive that day over and over again.
Growing up, a lot of people have different superheroes, right? Some people like Iron Man, some people like Superman. She is definitely the biggest superhero to me. Take me to a basketball game, take my sister to a dance recital, like being able to juggle all of those things at once, but still make sure that she led by example, by showing us, yes, this is what's important, but make sure you still make time for the things that you love.
I understand that I am blessed to be a blessing. Luke 14:24 says, "Too much is given, much is required." Those are some of the values that I live by. I understand that there's a bigger picture and a bigger purpose in everything that I do.
A lot of people will take those different things that she's been able to put on her plate and be like, well, that's way too much. But she's been able to take it on and just be like, hey, like this is what's in front of me, and this is what I'm very passionate about. So I'm just going to make the opportunity right.
Probably when Sharon got here, there might have been 10 or so business units, probably about $100 million in revenue. And today we're almost $1 billion. And I think she probably closes 28 or 30 P&Ls every month now. There's not much that happens here that she hasn't had her hand on at some point in time. So, when you're new, you look for people who can pour into you and educate you, inform you, and trustworthy, integrity. And Sharon checked all those boxes and then some.
Sharon embodies our core values and leads in a way that always puts people first. She has become the face of giving back in our community.
It's an inside joke within the family, like, hey, like, just let Sharon be Sharon, because whatever she's gonna do, she's gonna try to knock it out of the park regardless.
Been at Bennett almost 30 years, at least 20 plus of that, I've been in a hiring position, so I know what attributes I'm looking for in an employee. If I can help Georgia Southern help put those characteristics and training skills in that up-and-coming generation that's coming out, then I wanna be able to help them with that.
I always, growing up, I just sort of thought it was just like, it was common. And then it wasn't until I got older and said now that I'm in my own personal relationship with things of that nature, I'm like, I don't know how in the world my mother was able to, how was she able to deal with this and that and juggle these, and with 3 kids, how was she able to, juggle all those things?
She's the person behind the scenes that you don't ever see. It's like there's a curtain there, but there's a wisdom behind that curtain if you just walk into the door and talk to Sharon. She's not looking for stardom. She's not looking for fame. She's not looking for this award. Right? She's not. And that's the kind of person you like to recognize.